The massive Bitcoin breakout is continuing, and on today's update video, I will be exactly explaining about why Bitcoin saw such a major surge upwards. I'm going to be discussing what is happening in terms of the ETF flows in the market right now, but more importantly, what are the reasons why Bitcoin is currently pumping, and why we could basically see right now the beginning of altcoin season, and why we are probably still at the beginning point of this major rally. I'm gonna be discussing this, altcoins, and a lot of other things on today's update video. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button. Back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And first of all, I want to be discussing the fact that we indeed looked at the symmetrical triangle, and I've talked about this pattern for many times before in these kinds of markets. And yes, whenever we do break out, we usually tend to see that continuation. And yes, that is exactly what happens. I also talked about the rising wedge pattern, which I said indeed was a little bit more dangerous, but if we do break above the resistance, it is actually still going to be pushing up higher, and that is exactly what happened. Bitcoin broke above the resistance, exactly flipped it into support, and now we actually are seeing that continuation higher. But what is the main reason why Bitcoin is pumping right now? And I think that I found the main reason why Bitcoin is pumping and why we are probably going to be having even more volatility in the upcoming days. First of all, we had, of course, another great day on the spot Bitcoin ETF. We saw about $770 million worth of ETF inflows coming in once again here, and the majority of them coming from BlackRock, of course. And what we do know here is that actually the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF options are right now available. And for the ones that don't know what this is, it's basically allowing institutions to leverage trade Bitcoin on the Nasdaq with a 10x long position or a 10x short position. And due to this, we are basically seeing an extended inflow of money coming in towards the market. And due to potentially this extended amount of money slash leverage that is right now entering the market, we are seeing more heavier moves in the market from of the majority these institutions, of course. And if we're just going to be in general comparing the previous cycles compared to this cycle, this is really going to be the cycle of the institutions, and that is why I do believe this run can go much higher. And I'm also really expecting that whenever we're going to be breaking out, we're going to be doing it in a very strong manner. And currently as well, in the last few hours, we have just increased by another 5%. And if we're just looking at the chart right now, we're only a 2% pump away from that $100,000 target on Bitcoin. And if we're just going to be looking at the bigger perspective, if we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we can currently clearly see also, at this exact timing right now here, we are about to be having altcoin season. And if we're just going to be looking at all the interests from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and meme coins compared to each other, we can already start to see that, of course, Solana and meme coins, it's all actually like the best as it has ever been here. But for Ethereum and Bitcoin, it is not so hyped up yet here. And especially for Ethereum. And due to the fact that there's almost no interest in Ethereum, it could actually mean a very great opportunity for the price action on Ethereum, since that Ethereum price action is also creating this major symmetrical triangle right now. And I do really believe whenever we break above this major resistance right here, we're probably going to be still seeing a major good opportunity to take a very good trade on Ethereum, because then we could most likely see a big increasement in the Ethereum price action. And basically what is happening in general is that the Bitcoin dominance is also creating a rising wedge pattern, which is of course a bearish bias pattern. And if we're just also looking at the chart in general, it does make a lot of sense that altcoin season is about to be starting any moment right now. And you have to understand the bigger perspective that currently also, if we're going to be looking at the chart from others, if we're going to be looking to all the other dominance divided by the Bitcoin dominance, we can basically see that we're at this starting point, basically where we also were in 2021, where basically everyone thought, okay, no, this cycle we're not going to have an altcoin season. But that was exactly the point where altcoin season basically got started. You can see here, we had one touch point, then here, another touch point, and then right here as well, another touch point. And I really believe once again that we're likely going to see another altcoin season really getting started from off this point here. I think that this is a very bad timing to be fading altcoins. I mean, all the charts are pointing towards the same thing here, and you can see it also on this chart right here. Always whenever we break above the all-time high, it takes like a couple days here, and then we start to see that altcoin season really taking place on Bitcoin. And yes, this is a chart I actually came onto that I discussed like approximately 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you can see that currently exactly the Bitcoin breakout is happening very similar to the S&P 500 slash the gold breakout. That is, of course, a very nice thing to see currently as well. So if we're just looking at Bitcoin on the short term, we can see that we have been creating a major consolidation phase, and now finally we're starting to be breaking out and we're going quite exponential. These exponential rallies are actually quite tough to think about, like, where is it going to be stopping? I mean, what I am doing is, of course, looking at some Fibonacci extension levels, and if I'm going to be doing so, we are looking at this major level right here, sitting at $98,000 for Bitcoin. That is going to be most likely a level where I think Bitcoin is going to see somewhat of resistance getting found on. And basically, if we're just going to be looking at the previous cycle, really where Bitcoin started to go exponential was after like Christmas. And that is probably the same thing that we're going to be seeing this time around, the Christmas effect, where the Bitcoin price is, of course, already setting around $100,000. People are going to talk about Bitcoin, do their family, etc., etc. And then you get the Christmas effect, where you see usually major retail pumps here, and especially on altcoins, and most likely this cycle meme coins. So definitely preparing for that. And guys, if you want to be trading any of these pairs, Bitcoin or any other altcoins, which I think is a very great timing to do right now here, the exchange with the most amount of altcoins listings is definitely Blofin. And if you're right now sign up an account using the highest link below, guys, of today's video's description, you will be also able to get a $10,000 deposit bonus. So if you're interested in trading, Blofin is the best exchange to do it. It's also a non-KYC exchange, so you can trade deposit funds without any KYC. So that is, of course, a great thing here, in my opinion. I started to zoom out also on Bitcoin, and actually, if you're just looking at the Bitcoin chart right now, it looks to be that we're already very far in this bull market. I mean, the Bitcoin breakout is absolutely real here. And to be very honest, my realistic target, and I want everyone to be realistic, is $120 to $180,000. I'm already starting to cash out of Bitcoin. I mean, as the time goes by here, I'm just cashing out, buying real estate and different stuff here. And that way you should always make your own strategy as well, so you're not going to get wrecked in the next bear market, because I can guarantee you, well, it's a lot of fun that we're currently going up here. There's going to be also a point where we're going to be correcting all the way down again here. So make sure to be preparing for that as well. At the same time, on the monthly time frame, we're having a major breakout on the falling wedge pattern, which I believe is going to be sending us much, much higher. And right now we're also seeing this bullish crossover happening, basically a golden cross happening on the monthly time frame. And this basically has historically always signaled a major rally for at least like 400 days here. So I am very excited for what is about to be happening. I truly hope you currently do right now understand what is currently happening. So if you did enjoy it, learn something from this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys back again tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.